Imagine this. You're a world champion, a multi-millionaire, and you think the biggest problem in your life is whether your knee will hold up for the next match. Then one night, you're dragged into a dark apartment by masked men with guns. They don't just want money, they want 13 million euros. And the worst part? The people behind it aren't strangers. They're your childhood friends. Your own brother's name is being whispered. For Paul Pogba, this wasn't a nightmare. This was Tuesday. But the nightmare was only getting started. Pogba's career has always been dramatic. Record transfers, haircuts that trended more than his goals, endless debates about whether he was overrated or misunderstood, but none of that compares to the saga that began in early 2022. This wasn't about football. This was about betrayal, fear, and a ransom that could have bought an entire Premier League midfield. March 2022, Pogba flies back to France, thinking he's just catching up with family. He's probably expecting food, laughter, maybe some stories about childhood days. What he gets instead? A trap. Suddenly masked men appear, guns drawn, voices raised. They shove him into an apartment. For a moment, Pogba isn't a football superstar, he's a hostage. But if that sounds shocking, wait until you hear what they demanded. The number was insane, 13 million euros. Not 5, not 10, 13. Their excuse? They'd been protecting him for years. Protecting him from what? Bad form, paparazzi? Honestly, it was extortion disguised as friendship. Still, imagine the fear. You're Pogba. You've trained with Ronaldo, lifted a World Cup, played in Champions League finals. But none of that prepares you for staring down a gun in a dimly lit room, realizing the danger isn't on the pitch. It's right here, inches away. And then comes the sting. These aren't faceless criminals. These are people Pogba grew up with. Kids he played ball with in the Paris suburbs. Guys who knew his mother, his brothers, his whole family. It wasn't just a robbery. It was betrayal wrapped in nostalgia. But Pogba's nightmare wasn't ending there. It was about to get creepier. He thinks fast. Offer them 100,000 euros. It's like tossing a bone to a pack of wolves, hoping they'll leave you alone. But wolves don't stop when they taste blood. That payment just fuels them. From then on, Pogba lives under siege. They follow him, shadow his training sessions, lurk outside his mother's home. Always there, always watching. Every time Pogba steps outside, he wonders, is today the day they strike again? And then, just when it seems unbearable, his own brother makes it worse. Matthias Pogba, Paul's older brother, suddenly starts posting bizarre videos online. He promises to expose Paul, claiming he has secrets that will shock the world. He even drags Kylian Mbappe into the mess, accusing Paul of hiring a witch doctor to curse him. Yes, you heard that right. Witchcraft. One of the world's most expensive footballers allegedly dabbled in voodoo to hex his teammate. It sounded ridiculous, but it worked. Pogba's reputation takes a massive hit. Fans are confused, Mbappe is blindsided, and Paul is no longer just fighting off extortionists, he's fighting for his name. But soon, the story moves from the internet to the courtroom. By September 2022, French police are on the case. They arrest multiple suspects. Matthias turns himself in. Pogba's private nightmare is now splashed across global headlines. The investigation uncovers the full scope. Months of harassment, intimidation, threats to leak fake scandals. The guns were real. The betrayal was real. And the damage to Pogba's psyche? Impossible to measure. Matthias defends himself, saying he was manipulated, a victim too. But no one can ignore the fact, instead of defending his brother, he fed the fire. And the fire was about to reach its peak in court. December 2024. The verdict arrives. 6 men convicted. The mastermind gets 8 years in prison, others between 4 and 8. And Matthias? 3 years with 2 suspended, meaning he spends just 1 year under house arrest, ankle monitor included. The court also awards Paul damages, nearly 200,000 euros for financial loss and 50,000 for moral suffering, which feels laughably low. Guns, betrayal, and family treason. 50,000 wouldn't even cover Pogba's yearly barber bill. Matthias' lawyers immediately announce an appeal. But for Pogba, one truth is set. He really was betrayed by blood. And the saddest part is, this betrayal explains so much of what came next. Imagine being Pogba, injured, criticized, struggling to find form, and all the while, living under constant fear, wondering if your own brother is plotting against you. wondering if another video will drop or if another gun will appear. This wasn't about football anymore, it was about survival. While the world mocked his haircuts and TikTok dances, Pogba was just trying to protect himself and his family. And the cruel twist, Pogba had always been generous, always supported his family. That generosity turned into the very weapon used against him. But even after the verdict, the scars haven't faded. Now in 2025, Pogba's standing at a crossroads. After the guns, after the courtroom, after even a doping ban that nearly ended his career, he's back. This summer, he signed a 2-year deal with AS Monaco, finally playing in his home country for the first time. At the unveiling, he couldn't hold it together. The man we've seen mocked for his haircuts and dances was crying with joy just to be back on a pitch. And it doesn't stop there. He's been included in Monaco's Champions League squad. That means Pogba, the same man who was nearly broken by betrayal, could now line up under the bright lights of Europe again, maybe even facing Manchester United or Juventus, the clubs where this whole saga was written. And when reporters asked him what's next, he said it's stage 1 of his mission to return to the French national team. After everything, the ransom, the witch doctor nonsense, the ban, the brother in cuffs, Pogba still wants to pull on the blue shirt and represent France. That's not just football, that's resilience. So, what do you think? After surviving a gunpoint ransom, witchcraft rumors, and a courtroom showdown with his brother, can Pogba really focus on football again? Or has this saga already stolen too much from him? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this story gripped you, hit like, share it with someone who loves football drama, and stick around for more stories like this. Because if Pogba's life taught us anything, it's that sometimes the scariest opponents aren't on the pitch, they're in your own home.